Picture this. You're holding a treasure map. Its edges worn, promising you gold. You follow it eagerly, but the paths are all gone. The landmarks have shifted, and you're lost in the unfamiliar terrain. Do you cling to that map, hoping it'll magically show you the way? Or do you set it aside, embark on a new course, and chart your own journey? That questioning of what you think you know is at the heart of the unlearning curve. The unlearning curve is the transformative journey between a rigid thought and a golden idea. Today, I stand before you as a 17-year-old, but my journey is about way more than youth. It's about transcontinental moves, embracing change, and creating initiatives that empower others, all by unlearning beliefs that held me back. For a second, I want you to think about your own maps. These might be beliefs that you've held for quite a while now, like what success looks like, or what you're capable of, or what a good life is. We all carry these beliefs with us since our childhood, and they're shaped by our experiences and our culture. But what happens when these maps are no longer sufficient to navigate the world that we are thrust into? Scary, right? But unlearning is the courage to let go of those maps, to question those maps, and find the gold in new perspectives. It's where growth begins. Let me take you through my journey, from a disorienting move to India to creating initiatives that change lives, all by unlearning. And let me show you how unlearning can spark your own alchemy. 7 years ago, at age 10, I left Boston's crisp autumns and familiar classrooms for the vibrant, yes, sometimes chaotic streets of India. The conversations were all in a new language, and navigating classrooms were totally different. And social cues, like how to talk to friends and how to make new friends and how to engage in new conversations, were all like learning a totally different language. It was quite frustrating. I still remember my first day at school, expecting it to be like those American classrooms, you know, with those round tables, addressing the teacher by their first name, and always having a crayon in your hand. But instead, I was met with different rules and expectations. This was a prediction error, a term I later learned describes the brain's initial shock upon reality not matching up with expectation. It causes immense discomfort, as it did in my case as well. It suddenly felt like the mental map that I had built of the world for over 10 years was rendered totally useless. I tried to hold on to my old ways, my American habits, my sense of how things should be. But instead, that only made me feel more out of place. I had to actively unlearn that my mental map of the world was the only way to navigate it. I opened my heart up to the possibility of new friendships, the warmth of new conversations, and the creativity that sparked as a result. Art became my refuge. I painted anything and everything that came to my mind, from the essence of Diwali to vibrant artworks of vibrant markets. Anything that would come through my mind would immediately translate onto a canvas. Music, too, became a lifeline. Me and my sister would sit for hours on the windowsill, singing everything from classical pop to Lata Mangeshkar. Then, a few years later, as soon as we had settled down, another shock hit. My dad went to Germany for a work trip, a move that we had celebrated as a family milestone. But shortly after, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor and went temporarily blind. This news was a gut punch. Suddenly, our family was thrust into immense unpredictability, medical tests, treatments, and the fear of what might come next. I was a teenager, trying to grapple this new reality with friends and school as well. I had to unlearn that I could predict life down to its last moment, or plan it with certainty. Me and my sister leaned on our creative outlets way more than before, and soon realized that these moments were not just acts of escapism, but rather acts of alchemy, turning pain into connection, fear into resilience. Unlearning control opened my heart up to adaptability, setting the stage for everything that I've built since. So what exactly is unlearning? It's not just forgetting, but the process of deliberately letting go of thoughts, ideas, or knowledge that no longer serve us. Think of it as decluttering your mental sketchbook. Neuroscience tells us that our brain is wired to cling to patterns, as did mine when I moved to India It wanted to stick to those old, familiar routines. And when my dad's health crisis hit, it clung to the illusion of control. But in an ever-changing world, with AI reshaping jobs, climate crises demanding new solutions, and personal problems constantly upending goals, can we really stick to those patterns? That is, until they trap us. Unlearning is the key to freedom. Psychologist Carol Dweck, who studies growth mindsets, says that our ability to let go of old, outdated beliefs is what fuels growth. It's not about erasing what you already know, but about questioning its relevance. For me, unlearning meant letting go of the idea that I needed to fit into only one culture, or that I could plan life out with certainty. It meant finding comfort in not knowing it all and finding strength in adaptability. This process, what I call the unlearning curve, is where the actual alchemy happens, where outdated thoughts turn into gold. Let's dive into the unlearning curve. The first graph that you see, the blue line, is a normal learning curve. It's something that we all go through while learning a new subject or a new skill. It's a steady upward climb that only improves with practice. But the second line, the red one, that is the unlearning curve, looks different, right? It starts with a dip, a moment of hesitation or incompetence. It's where you question your beliefs. Researchers at MIT term this as the valley of unlearning. It's where you question your assumptions, challenge your beliefs, but come out with better perspectives, with the gold of new perspectives. I felt this valley when I moved to India. I stumbled and I felt out of place, but by unlearning my old approach, I discovered new ways to learn and to connect. This curve is not just personal to me or to you. Take Kodak, for example. Kodak, a multi-million-dollar company, clung to its old business model of film camera. But that only worsened their approach and plummeted them into bankruptcy. Instead, take Netflix, who let go of their old business model, their old DVD rental model, to embrace streaming, which is now a multi-million-dollar industry. The unlearning curve is messy, but it's powerful. It's where you shed what's holding you back and uncover the ideas that actually shine. For me, navigating this curve didn't just help me adapt, it helped me create a difference. I saw young people, especially from underprivileged backgrounds, trapped by outdated education systems that did not prepare them for modern careers. I unlearned the idea that education had to follow a rigid path. This led me to co-found the Maharat Initiative with my best friend that empowers underprivileged youth using skill-based education. We blend traditional knowledge with practical skills, coding, entrepreneurship, and communication, so that young people can choose their own futures. Maharat isn't just about teaching, it's about actively unlearning societal limits so that they can plan out their own futures with certainty. I've seen students go from feeling powerless to going and getting internships and starting their own small businesses, all of their ideas turning into gold. Then there's AuraTree, a gamified mental health app I developed inspired by the music and art that me and my sister leaned on during challenging times. Growing up, we'd sing together, trying to blend our voices to find calm in the storm. I unlearned the stigma that mental health had to be serious or even clinical. Why can't it be engaging or fun? AuraTree uses interactive games, music-inspired activities, and art-based exercises to help users manage their stress and emotions. It's like a playlist for your mind, engaging every single thought into a productive activity. And opportunities for growth. AuraTree meant unlearning self-doubt, doubting that a teenager could create something truly impactful. I faced quite a lot of skepticism while creating these projects of mine. People saying that I was too young or that the problems were too big. I had to actively unlearn that my age or my circumstances limited who I was or what I could create. Each step through the unlearning curve, questioning, stumbling, or reflecting, turned my ideas into actual gold. Maharat and Auratree are proof that unlearning can transform not just your own life, but the lives of others. Take, for example, Miss Malala Yousafzai, who unlearned the idea that girls were limited only to the kitchen or that they could not step out and get new education, get new knowledge. She went out. She challenged those beliefs of not only hers, but the society as well. And look what it gave her. It gave her a Nobel Peace Prize. Or take, for example, those ordinary teachers, the ones that we see in our classroom every single day. They have to actively unlearn old curricula to make space for new, more student-centered activities. A 2023 Stanford study found that professionals who actively unlearn by seeking feedback or questioning their own assumptions are 30% more likely to innovate in their fields. Unlearning is the spark that turns thoughts into gold. My own story reflects this. Unlearning the limits of my age helped me build Maharat and Auratree. So whether it be a global icon like Malala Yousafzai or a normal teenager in Lucknow, unlearning unlocks potential. So how exactly do you navigate the unlearning curve? Here are 3 steps drawn from my own journey. First, question. Ask why. Why do I have this belief? Is it actually helping me grow? For me, when I moved to India, I questioned, why did I feel so out of place? And by actively seeking its answer, I realized that it was not the environment that had to change, but my own expectations. Second, go and seek discomfort. Find conversations that change your thinking. Read articles that challenge what you believe. For me, engaging with teenagers during the Maharat Initiative helped me change my beliefs about opportunity, growth, equity, and equality. Third, create. Create through reflection. Pick up a pen, pick up a pencil, or even just your laptop, and create something from the millions of thoughts running through your head at all times. Just maybe one of those ideas can turn into the next billion-dollar one. Unlearning is our own alchemical tool in this world of constant change. And it doesn't just affect you, but the people around you. It creates a ripple effect. So when you unlearn, actively unlearn, you are more open to ideas. You are more open to new conversations, new people. So today, I challenge you to find your own alchemical tool, to find your own outdated map, question, reflect, create, and stumble into the unlearning curve. And just maybe one of those ideas can turn into the next billion-dollar one. Thank you.